By all outward appearances, college student Kourt Osborn looks like a man, but even though Kourt is undergoing hormone treatment, he has not yet had the surgery to complete the transformation. And unless he does, his university says he can't live with the other guys in the male dormitories, which is where Kourt says he actually belongs. He joins me today with more on his fight, and with him, Yana Walton, Director of Communications for the Utah Pride Center. I want to thank the two of you for bringing this story to our attention, because so many young people are dealing with issues like this, as well as colleges and universities and communities across our country. So, Kourt, why don't we start out by letting everyone know that you were at Southern Utah University as a student before. You were there as a female student, and you took some time off to sort of pursue activism and figure out who you were, and then what happened when you returned to campus?
It gets a little difficult. While I was doing activism and starting my transition, I actually learned a lot about myself and how important education is to me. So I did decide to go back to school after leaving, and I applied to live in housing and fully disclosed my identity as a transgender person, and disclosed also to the university that yes, I am transgender, and yes, I am male, and I think it would be suitable to place me in male housing for reasons that went on. It was a litany of reasons why I felt it was appropriate.
So in other words, you were honest. You could have lied. You could have just simply said, I'm a guy, reapplying, or you could have said, I'm a girl, but you said, I am anatomically, I'm still a female, but I am a male, and I am in the process of transgender selection. And so you wanted them to treat you as your preferred gender. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, it's called transitioning. And it would have been very easy for me to actually lie on my application and just say, hey, yeah, I am a dude, because my Utah State's driver's license says, hey, yeah, this is a male, it's gender marker male. And I could have just said that and let it go, and I really believe that the housing authorities would have not even realized that they had a transgender person on their hands.
You know, it's very interesting to me that you say that you are male because right on your driver's license it says that. And so I asked, I said, how does one get classified a male? And it actually was an easier process than you expected. Am I right, Kourt?
Yeah, actually, in the state of Utah, all you need is a letter from your therapist that says that you're living successfully in your chosen role, and a letter from your doctor that is administrating your hormone treatments.
So you don't have to have the surgery in the state of Utah in order to be classified as the preferred gender. You need to be in the process of hormonal transition and be in some sort of therapeutic counseling where a counselor will vouch for you.
Yeah, that's correct. The state of Utah doesn't require any surgeries to change your gender marker on your driver's license.
So I want to make it clear that Southern Utah University, Yana, is a public institution. Am I correct about that?
Yes, it is.
So I'm trying to figure out why the housing director would not allow Kourt to stay in the male dorm. Can you all kind of simplify that for me?
Absolutely. Basically, the school demanded in writing that Kourt undergo surgical procedures to provide proof that he is a real transgender person, and tried to arbitrarily define a baseline for what it means to be completely transgender, when there are several reasons why a transgender person may or may not elect to go through sex confirmation surgery. Basically, transitioning from one gender to another is a lifelong process, and they have unreasonably measured completely transgender person by surgery, and also they also wanted a diagnosis of gender identity disorder, so for him to have proof of a disorder in order to live in the male dorms, which seems unfair and unreasonable.
So that I'm clear, Kourt, you have not made the decision to go on with the surgical alteration. You are still in the process of the hormonal changes. Is that fair?
In essence, yes. It really wouldn't matter if I wanted it or not because I don't have the funds to actually get it.
It's about $100,000.
Yeah, it's about $100,000 for female and male transgender people. And sometimes it can be even more than that, and it's a process of over 11 surgeries. It's really, really complicated, and it's a huge, huge decision whether or not to go with that option.
Now, interestingly enough, Yana, I pursued very, very, very vigorously. I wanted to get a ruling, not just from the housing administrators at Southern Utah University. I wanted to know from the lawyers. So we got in contact with them today after a lot of effort, and the campus legal counsel at Southern Utah University said that the policy that's in place has actually been utilized in the past. They said that a student must have completed reassignment surgery as well as hormone therapy before they would be able to live in the dorm of their preferred gender. So according to their legal counsel, the school has dealt with it before, and this is the policy that they have. Unlike the more than 20 universities in our country, there are about 23, and I talked to the people at Brown today, so I know at least they're one, who have university housing that allow mixed genders and young people to make those kinds of decisions. Southern Utah doesn't have it. In the interim, what do you want to happen, Yana?
What I feel should happen is that a completely inclusive, meaning gender identity and gender expression, non-discrimination policy happen not only at Southern Utah University but at schools nationwide that would allow students to live in the housing of their choice, provided that there are means like locking bathrooms, which Southern Utah University, 2 out of their 4 dormitories, 4 plans include that.
You're basically saying that the policy is arcane and has not kept up with what is happening across the country, and
absolutely.
That's what
and they're not consulting an expert on transgender issues.
I don't think it's a priority for them on that. I think that's the thing we need to go ahead and admit. I want to thank Kourt and Yana for bringing this to our attention, and again, I want to thank Southern Utah University for clarifying their policy. I wish we had more time to discuss it.